Have you ever been so deep in your frustration around a situation that you can't see the answer just standing right in front of you? That's what I think is happening in the post that I shared in part one, where I came across this like new mom venting session on a public forum where she vented about her mother-in-law who was coming over to help with her newborn or like her 3-month-old baby. And she's really frustrated because the help isn't what she wants. Basically, the mother-in-law comes over and holds her baby. And she's like, I don't want to be making you lunch and doing all the chores here. Like, if you're going to help me, do my dishes and scrub my toilets and bring me lunch. That's basically what she was asking. And she was very frustrated that her mother in law will show up empty handed and all this stuff. This is after she tells us that her mother in law moved closer to be with them, said multiple times, we're going to help, just ask us for what you need, we're here to help, all that stuff. So she's already opening up the lines of communication. And then when this daughter-in-law isn't getting what she needs, she's expecting the mother-in-law to be a mind reader. And when she's not a mind reader, she's going to a public forum venting. But this public forum was a closed loop. It was an echo chamber. So when I got to the comments section, I read things like, oh my gosh, I would go to the park instead, like just be busy and don't let her come over for her tremendous help. I mean, they all just dogpiled on the mother-in-law. And I read every single comment and not one person just said, hey girl, like I totally get this. And I think your mother-in-law just has a different understanding of what help looks like. She's also invited you and encouraged you to ask for what you need. What if you just did that? You know, instead of like letting resentment build up. No one did that. And so that's why I wanted to bring it to our community, because we're not an echo chamber. We do like share both sides. We're not just a group of mother-in-law haters. We're just a group of people who have been through it, been through things, and we just give our insight into what we know, and it helps. It helps people. I just love that. I think it's invaluable to get different perspectives. All right. So what I would do if I was her is I would go to my mother-in-law. I would use a clear formula because that's what I'm comfortable with. And I'm a peacekeeper, people pleaser. And I would go to her and say, I am so grateful that you're coming over once a week and helping me. Like you're a godsend. You always told me to ask you if I needed something. I'm going to try it. So here I go. I'm still in the phase of life where I just want to hold my baby. I'm just not ready to put him down. And so the chores are piling up. And I'm just wondering, when you come over this week, would you happen to help me with like laundry in the kitchen? And by the way, if you're coming over around lunchtime, would you bring some Chipotle? That way we have less dishes and we can just have more time to chit chat and you can hold the baby. Do you see how nice that is? I followed what my mother-in-law said. She said, ask for me, or, ask for what you need. And I'm here. I asked her after I thanked her for being such a godsend, coming over and giving me these breaks or helping me and just being willing to scrub my toilets. Like in the first video, I told you that her mother-in-law, the first few times she came over to help once a week, she was vacuuming, dusting, scrubbing their toilets and all that stuff that she took advantage of. She's like, yeah, of course I'm going to take advantage of it. Like, why not? And then she started the last 2 times, started just holding the baby. Well, in the mother-in-law's defense, I mean, she may be thinking back to when she was a mom, thinking, yeah, by the time the baby was 3 months old, I was itching to have some independence. Like, you hold my baby so I don't have mom guilt, so I can move around my house freely or walk the dog or go get groceries or whatever on my own. Maybe she's just assuming because you guys aren't communicating. So I would think just communicating would fix all this. I mean, when I read it, I have to be honest, I had a very like this, I was upset. It was like 10:30 at night. I read, I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like no one's giving her any other insight. They're just agreeing with her. And this could be detrimental to this family if the resentment keeps going. And then she starts complaining about the mother-in-law to her husband and all this tension starts going. It's just, this is how it starts. And it's so much better if you could just turn towards each other and communicate in a way that you feel like is nice. I feel like the clear formula makes it so easy, at least for me, to communicate my needs when I feel like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. There's no way that that would hurt her feelings. Another thing, there's no reason why this daughter-in-law can't just say, hey, on your way over, could you pick up a box of diapers? Hey, on your way over, could you pick up, whatever you can say. And you can say, hey, I was thinking, do you think you could skip the perfume when you come over today? I've just been smelling the baby afterwards and I just don't want him to get fussy. All totally reasonable. So no one is in the wrong. It's just, everyone just needs to communicate and a lot of things would go smoother. if she just didn't expect her mother-in-law to be a mind reader. Those are my thoughts. I hope, I don't know. I just remember when my mother-in-law came over, like you guys know, she came over for the first 3 weeks with home cooked meals, a box of diapers, and she wouldn't take my baby. She would deep clean our dingy basement apartment. She would deep clean it all. And then at the end, if I like really persisted, she would hold my baby. But she told me it's so important that right now you bond with your baby. So just relax. Like I got lots of times to hold your baby. She did that for the first 3 weeks. And then when she would come over later on, it's like she knew I'd be itching. So then she would just hold my baby so that I wouldn't have that mom guilt. And I could clean, I could shower, I could take the dog for a walk, I could go to Target, whatever. She didn't care what I did with that time, but she still, like both my mom and my mother-in-law would come over and just hold the baby. And that to me was tremendous help. But I guess I had both. Like in the beginning, I had, all the support to hold my babies. And then when I was like itching to, move without the guilt, I also had that. So I don't know. I just thought it was a good story to share and a really good representation of how invaluable it is to get another perspective. And I find that all the time in therapy when I'm working with people, we get so close to the picture because we're so invested and we're so emotional. And all it takes is someone just to gently grab your shoulders and then just help you take a step back. And then all of a sudden you see the whole picture and you're like, wow, why didn't I see that? Or why didn't I think of that? And it's because we're so invested. And it's not anything to do with you. It's just the fact that we get in our head and we have this closed loop and it's just an echo chamber. And the worst thing we can do is complain to people that validate the echo chamber and never say, well, so hopefully you find this valuable too. And if you do, maybe share it with a friend.